30th of Nisan, called that Lamed Nisan. It marks the Hilula of a really great Spanish rabbi. We're now going the territory of the 11th and 12th centuries. His name was Rabbi Yosef Ibn Migash. Zecher Tzadik Libracha. He was also popularly known as the Migash, very great rabbi, and actually came from a line of rabbis, Rif Ibn Migash, Maimon, Av Harambam, very much respectively. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. He passed away, I believe, in the year 1141. So it's let's say, known by most people that he was born in Seville. However, I think other people do. There's a minority opinion that holds that he was born in Granada in Spain. And reported over at the age of 12, just the year before his bar mitzvah, he moved to an area called Lucena. This was to study under the great Talmudist Rav Yitzhak Alfasi. He would study under Rav Alfasi in Lucasa, I believe, for a 14-year time period. And shortly before he passed away in 1103, Rav Alfasi ordained Rav Ibn Migash as a rabbi and passed over, let's just say, he even passed over his own son and was appointed then 26 to be his successor as a Rosh Yeshiva, let's say the head of this Talmudic academy. Rav Yosef Ibn Migash held this position for a staggering 38 years. That's actually interesting. Another great rabbi, Rabbi Avram Ben David, he wrote in his work, the Sefer HaKabbalah, as we say in English, the Book of Tradition. He mentions Rav Yosef Ibn Migash, a grandfather who had the same name as being a contemporary of Shmuel Hanagid, the great rabbi Rav Shmuel Hanagid, and that during the dispute between the supporters, let's just say, of the Bulukin and the supporters of Badis, the Berber ruler of Granada, Rav Yosef Ibn Migash had sided with the Bulukin in, let's say, this dispute and fled to Askila, because obviously there was a fear of punishment at that point in time. Now it's clear that Rav Ibn Migash was a great Talmid, great Torah student, illuminary in of itself. They actually say Maimonides in the Rambam, in his introduction to Mishnah commentary, says Talmudic learning of this man, the great Rabbi Rimagish, amazes everyone who understands his words and the depth, let's say, of his speculative spirit, so that it might also be said of him that his equal has never existed. That's how far he goes. Rav Yehuda Halevi actually states over with regards to him that in his 6 poems, which are an abundant amount of praises, Rav Yosef Ibn Migash, let's say his best known student, was Maimon, the father of the teacher of Maimonides. In Maimonides' introduction to the, let's say, the Mishnah commentary, he gives a huge amount of praise to Rabbi Yosef Ibn Migash. Halevi is saying of him, I have collected what I stumbled across from the glosses of my father, of blessed memory, as well as others under the name of our Rabbi Yosef Halevi, of blessed memory. And Hashem lives. The understanding of the man in the Talmud is over here. Let's say the understanding of that man in the Talmud is astounding, as anyone can see who observes his words and the depth of his comprehension, until I can say of him that there has never been any king like unto him before him. So quoting from Kings chapter 25 in the second book of Kings, in his method of elucidation, I have also collected all of the legal matters, the halachot, the different laws that I found that belong to him in his commentaries themselves. It's actually interesting. There's a tradition that says that Maimonides himself was a Talmid of Rav Yosef Ibn Migash. This probably arose from the frequent references, let us say, in Maimonides' works to him as an authority. Like he looks up to him. It is unlikely that he was literally taught by him, as Maimonides was 3 years old at the time of Rav Yosef Ibn Migash had passed away. However, Maimonides' grandson published a pamphlet with the approval of his grandfather, in which it is described that Maimonides ran away from home in his youth and met Rav Yosef Ibn Migash and studied under him for several years. So obviously the dates and timings has got to be satisfied within regards to this timetable in of itself, but be it made this what is reported over. Now, among his works, Rabbi Yosef Ibn Migash authored over 200 responsa in Sheilot Tshuvot, question and answers, of the Migash. Originally, I think it was in Judeo-Arabic, many of which are quoted in, I think, Rabbi Betzel Ashkenazi's Shita Mekubetzet. 5 of Rabbi Ibn Migash's responses survived in Yemen and were published by Rabbi Yosef Kafi, or Rabbi Yosef Kapach, you could say, in 1973. He actually specified Rabbi Hananel ben Khushiel and Rabbi Al-Fasi as his authorities, but disagreed with Rabbi Al-Fasi in about 30, let's say, places related with regards to Jewish law, halacha. He also authored a great Gemara work, very similar to Kiddushim, on Tractates Bava Batra, and Tractate Shavuot, or Mesachet Shavuot also, and included Rav Yosef Shmuel Modiano's Orian Teliati, I think, which was printed in Salonika in the year 1795 in Greece, which is quoted by various Rishonim. His other works, unfortunately, have been lost. Some are still in manuscript form, but it's a great rabbi's Hilula over here, reported over to me on the 30th of Nisan. Now, we've not concentrated on many rabbis from 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th century time period. Maybe we're going to try and start covering more great rabbis from that specific era in of itself. I think it's important now to do it. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear. We've already covered nearly 950 great rabbis of yesteryear in this series. Now, if you're related or descend from any of the great rabbonim we're speaking about, please send me a comment, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're nearing 6,500 subscribers. If you feel anyone is interested in watching or listening to these videos, please share these videos to those people respectively, and let's continue educating ourselves on the rabbis of the next year. So wishing you blessings here from Israel, here in the city of Bet Shemesh, and take care and be well, everyone.